As I finish the reading of Judges 14, it ends with but Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. That phrase, whom he had used as his friend, we'll find out more of as we continue with the reading, which actually, it starts off with Judges 15 here, and then it'll go into 1 Samuel 2, and then 1 Samuel 9 and 1 Samuel 3. So it's interesting. There's other things going on at this time, apparently, according to the Reese Chronological Bible. So in the meanwhile, over here with Samuel, you know, when you read through Judges 14, you get the impression that Samson's somewhat of a mommy's boy or something. He's a spoiled kid. You could figure that because, you know, right at the beginning of the chapter, he's like, "Get her for me to wife. I want her." You know what? Am I on the right? Yeah, get her for me to wife. I was going to back up here and I lost my bookmarks. I just, something fell down and I'm like, what? What was that? Okay. Well, anyways, he says, "Get her for me to wife." And then the father tries to say, you know, "Hey, look, well, you know, hey, don't you think you could find some among our own people instead of going to the Philistines?" And then he says, "Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well." Well, here's what I was going to actually say about this. It really shows more so of how much direct care that I believe that the mother and father took with him. That they're with him at every turn, you know, even when they go down. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast. And his father went with him. They were trying to do what the angel of the Lord had told him. But they didn't watch him at every turn, you know, as we can't with our kids. And there was a big error that occurred here, but I want to, before I mention that, get up here and say, but his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. Okay, when you read that, you might think it means that Samson sought an occasion against the Philistines. But no, don't misread that like I have in the past, but recognize that it means the Lord sought an occasion against the Philistines. So the Lord knew what he had planned, and the Lord allowed some of this stuff to happen. The Lord didn't ordain it to happen because Samson really screwed up. And actually there's proof of the fact that it's not talking about Samson, that he sought occasion against the Philistines, because that would mean that, you know, Samson was doing, you know, was in his right mind to do, you know, to be a judge against the Philistines, which is why God brought him on the scene. And then the whole deal with his strength and everything else, so that he could fight against the Philistines, who were very powerful. But then it says here that at this point when the lion roared against him, the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. Okay, now obviously that was the right thing to do, and he showed his strength. But down here, when he comes back, he returned, saw the carcass of a lion. The Spirit of the Lord wasn't upon him, because he, you know, took of the honey. And it says, and his mother and his father didn't know, you know, what he'd done, because he told them, but he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So see, he wasn't always on the up and up with mom and dad either. Quite often he'd be like, you know, I got to check with dad, or I got to tell dad or mom or whatever. And once again, this is because the angel of the Lord came to him in Judges 13 and told him, you know, this is what you need to do. Make sure he doesn't drink strong wine or strong drink, and eat not of any unclean thing, and that no razor shall come upon his head, for he shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb. Now, I'm just supposing that these folks had access to Numbers chapter 6 in their scrolls or whatever, or could have gone to the priest and asked, you know, hey, this angel came to us, said these certain things, you know, tell us what it says in Scripture. What does God say? And he would have told him, because it's not mentioned by the angel, but in the vow of the Nazarite, which is talked about in Numbers chapter 6, in verse 6, all the days of his life that he separateth himself, or all the days that he separateth himself unto the Lord, he shall not, or he shall come at no dead body. So there's how he was wrong with the lion thing. He shouldn't have gone to that thing, shouldn't have come near it, says. You should not even come near it. You know, God made it really clear to the children of Israel not to touch even any dead thing, but a Nazirite wasn't even to come near it. I'm trying to find where I was. And so that's where he goofed up. But then he goofed up further, of course, because of the whole riddle thing. I can't find where I am here, but you know, he started on a path of destruction here with toying around with, you know, doing something wrong, and then, you know, oh, he felt giddy about it or something. Just had to tell somebody, you know, like he thought he was a little high and mighty, you know, in his own right, and he did wrong. Actually, he shouldn't have been, you know, making light of it. That was part of his downfall eventually, as we'll find out as we continue to read. After, of course, we get through, you know, wherever we are here. I hope I can find my page again. All right, we'll be right back with the next reading, which actually I found it. Here it is.